Today we're pulling the thread on NexusAI, a project advertised as a unified AI agent platform for full-stack deployment. It's a big claim for enterprise AI.
The episode title suggests this GitHub page is the primary source laying out the project's core functionality and claims. We need to see what it actually offers.
Looking at the page, though, we see a generic GitHub login prompt. This isn't the project's README or repository details, as one might expect.
This is just the GitHub landing page. We're not seeing the actual code, the documentation, or any specific features of NexusAI. It's empty information. If this is the primary source for an open source project, where are the claims? Where's the overview? What exactly does NexusAI promise here?
There are no claims. This page is asking us to find code, projects, and people on GitHub, not presenting the NexusAI project itself.
Typically, an open-source project's primary GitHub page showcases its value proposition immediately. This page is geared towards attracting users to GitHub generally, not a specific project.
It feels like we've been given a link to the front door of a building, but the specific office we're looking for isn't listed anywhere inside. The discrepancy is stark. We're supposed to be investigating a unified AI agent platform, but all we can get here are tips, technical guides, and best practices for GitHub itself.
It means the initial evidence for NexusAI's functionality from its supposed home is completely absent. We have a title, but no content.
The most prominent call to action on this page is simply to sign up for GitHub. This isn't about NexusAI, it's about GitHub's platform.
Without the project's actual claims on its own repository, how are we supposed to evaluate its promise of full-stack AI deployment?
We cannot. This source offers no direct information about NexusAI's technical specifications or its proposed solutions.
The source title implies a specific platform called NexusAI, but the content refers to GitHub's own platform in a very general sentence. There's a clear mismatch.
It's like searching for a specific product and only finding the general store it's supposedly sold in, with no sign of the product itself. The copyright confirms we're on a standard GitHub page. This isn't just a placeholder, it's a completely different page than what the link implies.
This absence of a concrete project definition immediately raises questions about its existence or accessibility, despite the grand claims in its implied name. If the primary source offers no insight, we need to look for independent validation. What does the press say about NexusAI's full-stack ambitions?
Let's see if journalists have managed to report on this project where we couldn't find the details ourselves. Our next lead was a press article titled, "NexusAI Claims Full-Stack AI Deployment from LLMs. Is it a game changer or a gimmick?" This promised critical insight.
This would be precisely the kind of independent analysis we need, especially after the lack of information on the GitHub page. However, the page content clearly states "page not found." The article itself is missing, not just the details within it.
So our attempt to find independent journalistic scrutiny of NexusAI's claims has hit a dead end, literally. What does it mean for our investigation when the press coverage we anticipated simply does not exist at the given link?
It means we have no external validation or critique from this source. The information is simply gone, if it ever existed. This isn't an obscure blog. Vox Media is a significant publisher. A missing article here, particularly about a project with big claims, is notable.
It's not just a broken link, it's a broken lead. This was supposed to be a major part of our "what did reporters find" scene. First, the GitHub page for NexusAI was generic. Now, the promised press coverage is completely absent. This isn't what you'd expect from a supposedly deployed platform.
It certainly doesn't add details or provide independent reporting, which was our core purpose for this source. It actively frustrates the investigation.
This is the second significant source where we found no information. This pattern of absence starts to define the project more than any specific claim could.
We're investigating a ghost, a project that appears in titles but vanishes when you try to access its substance.
And it's not just one instance. Our fourth source, a Substack article about the real challenge of AI-driven deployment, also returns page not found.
Two major investigative avenues, press and commentary, both lead to digital voids. This isn't just bad luck with links. Could these simply be broken links? Or is there a reason why stories related to NexusAI seem to vanish from prominent platforms like this MLOps newsletter?
The probability of multiple unrelated page not founds for a single project's coverage suggests a deeper issue than simple link rot.
The consistent page not found across different platforms strongly implies the content was either pulled or never published in the first place.
So, we have a project that makes bold claims in its name, but offers no substance on its own page, and no independent analysis anywhere else.
If press and follow-up evidence are missing, what about direct commentary or peer discussion? We have one more source to check.
Let's see if the tech community, like on Hacker News, has anything to say about NexusAI, positive or negative. This Hacker News thread was labeled as commentary on NexusAI, specifically about deploying full-stack apps from Claude or Curl. This sounded promising.
We were hoping for sharp criticism, or at least detailed discussions about the technical feasibility of NexusAI's approach to deployment. But the very first comment on the page refers to ChatGPT 4.0 versus math. This immediately tells us the discussion isn't about NexusAI at all.
This is completely off topic. We're looking for discussion on full-stack AI agent deployment, not large language model math capabilities.
We've gone from a generic GitHub page to missing press articles, and now to a Hacker News thread about complementary image data. None of this connects.
The actual page content profoundly contradicts the title. It's discussing general AI model interpretation, not a specific deployment platform.
Why would a source specifically titled for NexusAI lead us to an unrelated conversation about chain of thought or guided thinking processes for AI models?
This isn't an error in content. It's a complete misdirection. The link or its metadata is fundamentally wrong regarding NexusAI. The content here, discussing Analyze UIs, before and after images, highlights a common AI challenge, but it has no bearing on NexusAI's stated purpose.
It adds a layer of confusion. It's not just missing content, it's present content that's completely irrelevant to our case. One commenter concludes, still superior is text-only modality plus chain of thought. While an interesting point, it's not about NexusAI's architecture or deployment model.
This is the strongest objection we've found so far, but it's an objection to AI image interpretation, not to the existence or claims of NexusAI itself.
Hacker News is usually a hub for early tech adoption and rigorous peer review. The absence of NexusAI discussion here is particularly telling. It implies that either the project is so niche it's entirely off the community's radar, or it simply hasn't generated any buzz to discuss. Given all these missing and mismatched sources, what concrete evidence do we actually have about NexusAI's existence or functionality?
Virtually none beyond its name being attached to these phantom links. We have found no direct evidence of a functional project.
The sum of our investigation isn't a critique of NexusAI's capabilities, but a question about its very presence in the tech landscape.
This situation is more akin to investigating a product concept that never moved beyond its initial naming phase.
The pattern is clear. This case isn't about analyzing a system. It's about the mystery of its disappearance.
Let's synthesize what this investigation into NexusAI, or rather its ghost, leaves us with. Our investigation into NexusAI, described as a unified AI agent platform for full-stack deployment, has taken an unexpected turn.
We started by trying to verify the core claims, but what we found was a consistent pattern of absence and misdirection.
The primary GitHub source offered no specific information about NexusAI. It was a generic GitHub landing page, not the project repository.
This meant the fundamental details of what NexusAI is or does were missing from its supposed digital home. Our search for independent press coverage and follow-up evidence also yielded nothing. Both promised articles resulted in page-not-found errors.
Two separate publications, a general tech review and an MLOps newsletter, had their NexusAI articles conspicuously absent.
The most striking finding was a hacker news thread explicitly linked to NexusAI, yet its content was entirely focused on image interpretation and LLM math.
It was as if someone redirected the conversation to avoid discussing NexusAI itself. This wasn't just missing, it was actively misleading. So, after reviewing all the evidence, can we confirm anything about NexusAI's full-stack AI agent platform deployment?
Based on these sources, we can confirm almost nothing. The claims exist only in the titles, not in any accessible content.
The only verifiable information from the GitHub link is the GitHub platform itself. The project it's supposed to host remains unseen.
This suggests NexusAI either never fully materialized, was quickly decommissioned, or exists in a deeply obscured part of the internet. This isn't a case of overblown marketing claims. It's a case of a project that seems to exist solely as a digital echo.
The full-stack deployment is not deployed anywhere we could find, nor is it discussed or criticized.
What does it mean when a proclaimed unified AI agent platform leaves no digital footprint except for its own name attached to broken or irrelevant links?
It means the investigation, for now, ends with more questions than answers about the actual existence of NexusAI. Here's where the investigation leaves us. NexusAI remains an enigma, a set of bold claims without a verifiable presence online.
The evidence points to a project that, for all intents and purposes, is largely a phantom.
I'm Maya.
I'm Arjun. Next file in 3 hours.